Good morning, everybody. Miss Chrissy again, and this week we are going to be learning a little bit more about Moses. I know the last couple weeks we talked about Moses leading Israel out of Egypt, and then last week we talked about them running away from the Egyptians and God parting the sea, for making a big path in the sea for the Egyptians to walk through on dry land, or for Israel to walk through on dry land so that they could escape being captured by Pharaoh. So this week we're going to talk more about Moses, and where they're still not where they're trying to be. They're en route to the promised land, and they're in the wilderness right now. So we're going to start with a story called 10 Ways to Be Perfect, Moses and the 10 Commandments. So this comes from the book of Exodus. And I'm going to show you our first picture. So there they all were, grannies, granddads, babies, uncles, aunts, children, moms and dads, out there in the middle of the desert. They had blisters from all the walking. They were hungry and thirsty and much, much too hot. "We don't like it," they said. "It stinks." And so did they, for that matter, because no one had taken a bath in weeks. Now remember, because this is something they'd forgotten, God had done amazing things for his people. He'd hidden them inside a cloud. He'd moved the sea. He'd set them free. But God's people still weren't happy. They didn't care about being free. Wasn't it better than when they were slaves? At least they had lots of nice food to eat. God doesn't want us to be happy, they said. It was the same lie that Adam and Eve had heard all those years before. God has brought us out here to kill us. God doesn't love us. But they didn't know God very well, did they? Here's our picture again. So they're in the desert. Down here, they're really unhappy about what's going on. Every day of their journey, God kept on showing his people how well he would look after them if they would trust and obey him. When they were hungry, God made the sky rain with food, bread coming down from heaven. "What is it?" they asked each other. They didn't know, so they called it "What is it?" which of course is a very good name for something when you don't know what it is. When they were thirsty and started quarreling, God made water flow from a rock. Moses called that place Quarreling because that seemed like a good name too. And still, God's children didn't trust him or do what he said. They thought they could do a better job of looking after themselves and making themselves happy. But God knew there was no such thing as happiness without him. So God led them to a tall mountain. God wanted to talk to his people and show them what he was like. He wanted to help them know him better and tell them about the special land he was going to give them. "The whole earth belongs to me," God said. "I've chosen you. You are my special family. I want you to live in a way that shows everyone else what I'm like, so they can know me too." Here's bread raining down from the sky. The bread is called manna. And here's water coming out of a rock. God called Moses up the mountain. The great mountain shook. A thick cloud fell. Thunder roared, lightning crackled, and God gave Moses 10 rules called commandments. "I want you to love me more than anything else in all the world. And know that I love you too," God told them. "That's the most important thing of all." Here's our picture. This one's a long one. So these are the people down at the foot of the mountain. Here's a mountain. And here's Moses way up here at the top talking to God. God gave them other rules, like don't make yourselves pretend gods. Don't kill people or steal or lie. The rules showed God's people how to live and how to be close to him and how to be happy. They showed how life worked best. God promised promises to always look after you, Moses said. Will you love him and keep all the rules? We can do it. Yes, we promise. They were wrong. They couldn't do it. No matter how hard they tried, they could never keep God's rules all the time. They knew they couldn't. God knew they couldn't. And he wanted them to know it too. Only one person can keep all the rules. And many years later, God would send him to stand in their place and be perfect for them, because the rules couldn't save them. Only God could save them. Here's our last picture. This is Moses. These tablets, these are the commandments written out on tablets. All right. So, that is it for our story today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. We'll continue, I think, learning about Moses again next week. And in the meantime, I can't wait to see you guys again. I hope you have a fantastic week and a great day. Bye, guys.